Welcome to the Deep Dive. You send us the sources, and we extract the knowledge.
That's right.
Today, we're digging into the world of Samurai Jack, based on a really comprehensive YouTube recap you shared with us.
Yeah, it's a great one. And for you, the learner, maybe you watched this as a kid, maybe it's totally new, but our aim here is, well, a clear look at Jack's origin, his early adventure.
We want to hit those key moments, maybe uncover some things you missed, but, keep it focused. Avoid just drowning you in every single detail of this amazing series.
Exactly. Because Samurai Jack, when it first aired, early 2000s on Cartoon Network,
Yeah.
it really stood out, didn't it?
Oh, totally. It just looked different. Felt more like a movie sometimes. That artistic ambition was pretty unique for TV animation back then.
Yeah, you can see the creator's visual background shining through, and the core idea, it grabs you immediately. You've got ancient Japan, but it's been taken over by Aku.
This ancient shape-shifting demon, pure darkness.
Doesn't get much more epic than that. And standing against him, just one person, really, Prince Jack.
A samurai, incredibly skilled, and he has this magical sword. A katana made just to fight Aku.
Right. His father tried before, years ago, but couldn't finish the job.
So Jack has to step up.
Pretty much. It sets up this huge clash. Jack, young, determined against this ancient, powerful evil.
And their first big fight, Jack actually almost wins, right?
He gets so close, pushes Aku right to the edge. But Aku, being Aku,
Pulls a fast one.
you could say that, tears open a time portal. Classic villain move.
And instead of getting destroyed, Jack gets, thrown through it?
Flung into the distant future, a future where Aku's evil isn't just present law.
Wow. So Jack's mission completely changes, not just about beating Aku anymore.
No, now he has to find a way back to his own time to stop Aku from ever taking over in the first place. Undo everything.
Okay, that's a huge setup. Let's dive into how it all started. The beginning.
Right. The first episode opens with this amazing visual solar eclipse. Really sets the mood.
And Aku just appears.
Emerges from this twisted, dead tree in this barren land. And he's like, smite the world. Ominous stuff.
Yeah, no kidding. But we get context for that tree, right? There's a flashback.
Crucial flashback. The Emperor, Jack's father, telling young Jack the story of Aku, like it's this ancient legend.
So Aku came from a pit of hate.
That's how the Emperor describes it. He felt powerless at first, didn't know what to do, so he sought out these 3 mystical monks on a mountain.
Interesting. He went for monks, not just more soldiers.
Shows the scale of the threat, right? Mortal weapons weren't enough. These monks, they forged the magic sword for him, the only thing that can hurt Aku.
And the Emperor uses it, fights Aku.
Defeats him, or at least contains him, imprisons him in that wasteland, and Aku becomes that black tree.
So Aku breaking free isn't the first time he's been, dealt with. There's a cycle here.
Exactly, a cycle of evil returning. And right as young Jack is hearing this story, playing with his little wooden sword, bam, reality hits.
Aku attacks the palace.
Swift, devastate. This huge shadow falls, walls crumble, the army tries to fight back arrows, spears, catapults.
Useless.
Totally useless. Aku just absorbs it all, turns their own weapons against them. It's a terrifying show of power.
And then the Emperor gets captured.
Yeah, but not before he tells the Empress, Jack's mother, go, do the plan. They actually had a plan for this.
Wow, foresight. So the Empress escapes.
She does. Takes young Jack, takes the sword, flees the burning palace, gets them onto a ship.
But she doesn't keep Jack with her.
No, and this is huge. She entrusts Jack to the ship's captain, who has his father's emblem, so there's trust there. But she keeps the sword herself.
Separating them. Why?
Strategy, maybe? Keep the air safe, keep the weapons safe, but separate targets. It sets up Jack's entire childhood, really.
Right, because he doesn't just grow up on that ship.
No way. He travels the world, trains everywhere, learns different fighting styles, languages, skills, everything. It's this incredible montage showing his dedication. He's preparing.
Preparing to go back home.
Yeah.
But home isn't what it was.
Far from it. While Jack's training, Aku's tightening his grip. His homeland is enslaved. Aku's face is plastered everywhere. His own father, the Emperor, is forced to work in the mine. Grim.
Just awful. But Jack eventually returns.
He does. Comes back, takes down Aku's minions, frees his father. A heroic return.
Must have been some reunion.
Yeah, but bittersweet. The Emperor immediately warns him Aku's using the mine's resources, the jewels, to get stronger, to take over the whole world.
And there's that line about the sword, right?
Crucial line. Jack's relying on the magic sword, but his father says, the sword is only a...
The true power lies in the hands that wield it.
Exactly. It's not just about the magic weapon. It's about Jack himself, his skill, his spirit. That's a core theme for the whole show.
A lesson he has to keep learning, I bet.
And it sets up their first real fight, Jack versus Aku.
How does that go down? Aku's probably pretty cocky.
Oh, totally. At first, he just laughs off Jack, calls it a mortal weapon.
But then Jack hits, and it hurts.
Right. Aku realizes, okay, this sword is a threat, but he's still incredibly confident. He's like, neither you nor your father nor this sword can stop me.
Why so sure? Has he just come back from defeat before?
Probably. He's this ancient evil. Maybe he thinks he's fundamentally unkillable. That confidence, even when he's being hurt, makes him scarier.
So what does he do?
He goes big, shapeshifts into this giant gorilla, and the fight is on.
And this is where Jack's training shines.
Absolutely. Aku keeps changing forms, trying to get an edge, but Jack counters everything. Gorilla, scorpion, whatever. Jack's got an answer. He's adaptable, skilled.
He actually gets the upper hand.
Big time. Pushes Aku back, forces him. It looks like Jack's gonna win. He throws the sword, pins Aku.
Traps him in its energy.
Yeah, Aku's reduced to just this, shadow. Defeated. Looks like it's...
But it's not.
Not quite. Even as a shadow, Aku's like, next, things will be different. Then this terrifying scream.
Rips open time itself.
The time portal. And before Jack can land the final blow, he gets sucked in.
Thrown into the future. Where Aku is the supreme leader.
Yeah, and Aku's last words are basically... I'll destroy you next time we meet. Talk about a cliffhanger.
Seriously, what a way to start the main quest. So, episode 2. The samurai called Jack. He arrives in this future.
He literally falls out of the sky, right into this crazy high-tech city, flying cars whizzing past his head.
Total sensory overload for a guy from ancient Japan.
You have to imagine. But he reacts instinctively. A car gets aggressive, he slices it in half, dodges a giant trash compactor like it's nothing.
Still a samurai, even surrounded by robots and aliens.
Exactly. Warrior instincts kick in. And then he meets these 3 alien kids.
And they call him Jack.
Yeah, repeatedly. He's confused, like, who's Jack? And then he asks the big question, who's your leader here?
And they all say,
Aku. Just sinks in. The scale of Aku's victory, he rules everything across time.
That must be devastating, just crushing.
For sure. The kids point him to, a local bar or cantina.
More culture shock.
Oh, yeah. Place is filled with all sorts of bizarre aliens. He gets into a little scuffle. Holds his own, of course. It shows he won't back down, even...
And this is where he meets the dogs.
The canine archaeologists. Yes. Sir Duffus Alexander, Sir Angus McDuffie, Sir Colin Bartholomew Montgomery, Rothschild III. Quite the names.
Yeah. Very distinguished. What's their deal?
They're scholars, historians. But Aku has enslaved them, forced them to work in these crystal mines, digging up jewels instead of history.
The Navy help.
Desperately. They saw Jack handle himself in the bar fight, so they approach, explain their situation.
And they figure out he's from the past.
Kind of accidentally. Jack's talking about things, his time before Aku took over completely. Their instruments start picking up weird temporal readings around him.
So they realize he's unstuck in time.
Exactly. It clicks for Jack, too. Aku didn't kill him, he banished him.
So defeating Aku now means getting back first. Adds a whole new layer.
Huge layer. The archaeologists naturally beg him for help freeing their people.
And Jack agrees.
He does. And it's here, when they ask his name, he just says, Jack.
Accepting his new reality. Sort of.
Seems like it. A small moment, but significant.
But Aku sees everything, right?
Aku's got spies A little drone catches the whole conversation, reports back.
Aku must be furious.
Beyond furious. His old enemy is back after all this time. He vows to make Jack suffer and immediately sends an army.
Beetle drone.
Yeah, these nasty robot beetles. Sends them straight to the excavation site where Jack and the dogs are. First big fight in the future is about to go down.
Okay, the first fight. They know the drones are coming. How do they prepare?
Quick thinking. They use the mining equipment. Those big diggers, turn them into catapults.
Nice. Resourceful.
And Jack, he looks at the jewels they were forced to mine.
And thinks weapons.
Exactly. He starts crafting spears, arrows out of these crystals. Shows his adaptability. The dogs make him some armor, too. And he even tames this local team effort.
So the drones attack at dawn.
Yep.
Huge swarm descends. Jack triggers the catapults, takes out a bunch right away, buys him some time.
But it's not enough.
Aku sent a lot of drones. The catapults run out of ammo. Jack switches to the crystal spears, fights on his mount. Does pretty well, but eventually gets knocked off.
Down to just his sword.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
He's skilled, incredibly skilled, but he's just overwhelmed by the numbers. His makeshift armor gets shredded. Looks bad.
But Jack's smart. He doesn't just stand there.
Tactical retreat. He lures the drones into this hidden area they'd prepped. More traps.
Like what?
A rock slide. Rigged up flamethrower ships. Even a pit filled with sharp jewels. Clever stuff.
Buys him more time, takes out more drones, but still.
Still vastly outnumbered. He's out of traps. It's just him, his sword, against a sea of robots. He's getting injured, covered in their black oil. It looks like this might be it.
But then something shifts.
Yeah, it's weird. The remaining drones, they seem to hesitate. almost like they're scared. Seeing this lone samurai covered in their oil, still fighting.
They start backing off. They do, and Jack just goes berserk, doesn't let up. Cuts down every last one of them. Total determination.
Wow, so the archaeologists are free.
Finally free, they're incredibly grateful, offer Jack a place with them.
But he can't stay.
His mission's clear, find a way back. He thanks them, declines, and moves on. Alone again.
And Aku's watching all this.
Oh, yeah. He sees Jack win. He's furious, but maybe also a little impressed. He just renews his vow to crush Jack. The rivalry intensifies.
Okay, next up, Jack learns to jump good. Sounds fun.
It's a great one. Jack's still focused on getting home. He spots another time portal.
Takes out the guards, presumably more drones.
Yep, makes short work of them.
Yeah.
But just as he's about to reach it...
Aku interferes again.
Yep. Uses his powers, just lifts the portal up out of reach, taunts Jack with it, then turns into a bird and flies off with the portal.
That's just cruel. Like psychologically cool.
Totally. But Jack doesn't give up. He's wandering through this forest, this guy.
The wild man.
Yeah, just bouncing through the trees. Incredible jumping ability. Looks like flying.
So Jack follows him.
Finds out he was raised by this tribe of apes, white and blue apes. They all have this amazing jumping skill. It's how they live, get around, escape enemies.
Like the other ape tribe. The red ones.
Exactly. The big, aggressive red apes who try to steal their food. Nature's conflicts, even in Aku's future.
And Jack gets involved?
Of course. The red apes attack, Jack defends the blue apes, which leads to a trade.
Jack teaches them. Traps. Defense.
Yeah, traps, how to use staves. And in return, they teach him how to jump good.
How does that training go?
It's intense. Classic montage. They strap these huge rocks to him, make him do all these crazy exercises, strengthening his legs, his core. He really commits.
It works.
Like a charm. They take the rocks off, and suddenly he's leaping incredible distances effortlessly. He mastered it.
So he thanks his ape friend and leaves.
Yep, mission accomplished there. But the story thread isn't quite done.
The red apes come back.
They do. But this time, the blue apes are ready. Using Jack's tactics, led by the monkey man, they fight them off. Successfully defend themselves. Jack sees it happen, feels good about it.
Nice. So now he's got this new skill. Does he go after the portal again?
He does. Finds it again. More beetle drones, naturally. Tills with them.
And Aku shows up for the finale.
Right on cue. Lifts the portal way up high, thinking Jack can't possibly reach it.
But this time,
Jack doesn't just try to climb. He jumps. This enormous soaring leap. Soared out.
Aku must be shocked.
Completely stunned, he yells, "You can fly!" And Jack's reply,
"No, jump good."
Yeah.
Perfect deadpan delivery. Just fantastic.
Ah, classic. Okay, shifting gears now to the Scotsman. A fan favorite character, right?
Oh, absolutely. Loud, proud, boisterous warrior with a machine gun for a leg.
You can't forget the leg. How do they meet? Is it friendly?
Not exactly.
Yeah.
Jack's crossing this really long, misty bridge, and he hears this incredibly loud noise.
Bagpipe. This Scotsman just wailing on his bagpipes. Jack politely asks him to maybe tone it down a bit. The Scotsman refuses. Leads to an argument.
About bridge etiquette.
Pretty much. And it escalates fast. They start trading these outrageous insults. It's actually hilarious. Then they start dueling.
So, immediate conflict.
Yeah, but it's more comical than anything. But then right in the middle of their insult-fueled fight, bounty hunters show up.
And they capture them.
Worse, they shackle them together. Suddenly, these two guys who are just trying to beat each other up are literally chained to each other.
Forced teamwork. Love it.
Classic trope. They have to escape together. Jack, being clever, causes the bridge to collapse. They fall into a swamp, escape the hunters' vehicles.
Where do they end up?
This abandoned settlement. And the Scotsman finds a wanted poster for Jack.
The plot thickens. Do the bounty hunters catch up?
Oh, yeah. They track him down. And the fight is even harder now because Jack and the Scotsman are still chained together, tripping over each other, getting in the way.
But they start working together. Kind of.
Grudgingly. They start to see the other guy can actually fight. There's this moment where they use the chain itself. Danger. Break free.
And once they're unchained.
They make short work of the bounty hunter. Easy.
And that's the start of their friendship.
Pretty much. Forged in battle and insults. It ends with them arguing over who gets to buy the other a drink. Perfect start to their rivalry/friendship.
Okay, let's move to a more reflective episode.
Yeah.
Jack remembers the past. Starts with action, though.
Yeah, Jack's riding this giant flying bug, getting chased by these robotic cat things. CA.
Ends in a joust.
A mid-air joust. Jack wins, of course. And these little raccoon-like creatures thank him for freeing them from the sacks. A reminder that he helps people along the way.
But things get quieter.
He travels, ends up by this peaceful river, sees his reflection, and then he spots this old weathered statue with the symbol of his homeland on it.
Hits him hard.
Yeah, he realizes this is his homeland, or what's left of it. It's all in ruin. Triggers this flood of memories. Beautiful, poignant flashbacks to his childhood, playing in a field with a girl. This innocent connection, a kiss on the cheek, simpler times.
What else does he remember?
Seeing this Ronin, this masterless samurai, and his son fight off some shadowy bad guys, effortless skill, clearly made a big impression on young Jack's idea of swordsmanship.
It really grounds him, shows what he lost, what he's fighting for.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Humanizes him beyond just the stoic warrior. But the peace doesn't last.
Trouble find.
A little robot runs up, desperate. Its village is under attack, needs help.
And Jack snaps right back into action.
Instantly. No hesitation. Justice, helping others, it's ingrained. And there's this final image, almost like a vision, of his parents looking proud. Really moving stuff. Next, Jack and the monks. This one starts rough for Jack.
Another fight. Another portal.
Yep, battling tons of Aku robots in the pouring rain, fighting towards a time portal.
And he gets destroyed again.
Right in front of him. He's just crushed, totally demoralized. You really feel his frustration.
But something pulls him out of it.
His hat. A dust of wind blows his hat off. He chases after it.
Leads him somewhere unexpected.
The three monks, very mysterious guys, sitting calmly.
Do they give him his hat back?
They do, but then they start talking cryptically about seeking truth, about some great power on top of this massive unconquered mountain.
And Jack's intrigued. Or just desperate for any kind of hope.
Maybe a bit of both. He decides to go with them, climb the mountain.
Is the climb easy?
No way, it's treacherous. They face goatmen, rock monsters, freezing cold, but the monks, they seem totally unfazed, just serene.
While Jack is struggling.
Big time. Then a blizzard hits, he gets separated from them, attacked by this Sasquatch-like creature.
He beats it.
Yeah, but he's exhausted. Physically, just hits rock bottom again, ready to give up.
What pulls him through this time?
Visions. Powerful visions of his family enslaved, his home ruined by Aku, reminds him why he's doing this.
Finds his resolve again.
Pushes himself to the absolute limit, finally reaches the summit.
And finds the great power.
Nope, nothing there. Just the view, an endless horizon.
So the power wasn't external.
Seems like the journey was the point. He finds strength within himself, a renewed sense of purpose. He thanks the monks, who were just guides, really. He turns to the horizon, towards Aku's distant fortress, and just yells, vows he'll return, he'll defeat him. It's a powerful moment of defiance, finding strength from within, not from some magic MacGuffin.
Very cool. Okay, Jack and the Spartans. This sounds like a big one.
Oh, it's epic. Often feels like a mini movie. Jack finds this narrow pass, and there's this insane battle going on.
Spartan, like ancient Greek warriors.
Yeah, about 300 of them, holding off this horde of mechanical minotaurs. Think Thermopylae, but with robots.
And Jack just jumps in.
Immediately helps them turn the tide, finish off the minotaurs. Classic Jack.
But the Spartans know it's not over.
Right. The prince warns him, they'll be back, more of them.
Jack meets the general, the king. They explain the bigger picture.
What's the threat? This giant mechanical octopus monster. It's literally eating the land, consuming everything, and it's sending wave after wave of robots against their kingdom. The ravine is their last stand.
They can't hold out forever.
They know they'll eventually be overwhelmed. It's grim. But Jack, always observing, spots something.
A way to fight back.
A hidden mountain path. A way to sneak around and attack the monster's base directly.
A risky plan.
Very. The king decides, his son stays to defend the ravine. He, Jack, and some elite Spartans go on the offensive. A final, desperate assault.
Do they make it?
They infiltrate the base, fight the giant mechanical beast. It's a huge battle. And it looks like Jack sacrifices himself, sets off this huge explosion to destroy the monster.
He dies.
That's what the Spartans think. Years later, the old king is telling the story on his deathbed, recounting Jack's heroism, believes he died, saving them.
Right.
The very last shot, you see Jack's silhouette in the smoke. He survived somehow. Just adds to his legend.
Always surviving. Okay, you mentioned the recap, skipped one, the story of X9.
Yeah, it jumped over that one. It's a really unique episode, done like a classic film noir, following one of Aku's robots. Definitely material for another time, perhaps.
So we move on to Jack in the Shaolin monk.
Right. Jack's in another jungle dealing with nasty insects when suddenly, bam, ambushed by two Shaolin monks.
Another fight.
A really cool one. It's less about aggression, more about testing skill. They're surprised by each other's style.
The monks recognize Jack's moves.
They're shocked. He knows their techniques, things they thought only they knew, being so isolated for centuries.
How does Jack prove he's legit?
He puts on a clinic, shows them mantis style, southern fist, eagle claw, even water beetle. Just cycles through these different martial arts.
Like a demonstration. Where did he learn all that?
Back in his world travels as a kid, remember? That montage wasn't just for show. He really trained everywhere. The final proof is him knowing the Shaolin's secret sign.
So they accept him, take him to their temple.
Yeah, through this hidden passage. And the temple is incredible. Ancient, peaceful, monks practicing everywhere. It's survived Aku's reign somehow.
Wow.
The Grand Master. He's ancient, literally intertwined with this giant tree, deep in meditation. Turns out he recognizes Jack.
How?
He knew Jack's teacher, Master Chu, back when they were both young. It's this amazing connection across time.
Wow. And the Grandmaster is protecting the temple.
With his immense chi, this life force energy, it creates this shield, keeps Aku out. He's been doing it for centuries.
So Jack asks him about a time portal.
Naturally. The Grandmaster knows of one at another temple way up north.
And the monks offer to guide him.
2 young, skilled monks volunteer. They travel together, start climbing this huge temple complex. Stone guardians this time. They animate, attack. It's another big fight on a staircase.
They need to reach the portal before.
Before the sun reaches its highest point, that's when the portal is active. The 2 monks make a choice.
So hold off the guardian.
Yeah. Sacrifice themselves so Jack can make it. Go, Jack, save yourself, save the past.
So Jack runs for the portal.
He does. Reaches the chamber. The portal is forming. But he looks back, sees the monks getting overwhelmed.
And he chooses.
He chooses them, abandons the portal, goes back down, helps fight off the guardians.
But the portal closes.
The energy fades just as he finishes the fight. The monks are stunned. Why did you come back?
What does Jack say?
That he couldn't sacrifice them? That his quest isn't worth their lives? He'll just have to find another way. Powerful statement about his character. Honor over objective.
Wow. Okay, now for the birth of evil. This sounds like a big origin story. 2 parts.
Huge. Goes way back, cosmic scale. Starts with this sentient void of darkness consuming the universe.
Who fights it?
3 ancient gods, Odin, Ra, and Rama, epic celestial battle.
They win.
Mostly. They destroy the main darkness, but one tiny piece breaks off, survives, drifts through space.
And lands on Earth in ancient Japan.
Bingo. Forms this black tar-like pool in a crater. Starts absorbing dinosaur bones, growing these jagged spikes, slowly spreading.
Towards civilization.
Towards the early imperial palace. It's getting dangerous. The emperor, Jack's ancestor, has to do something.
His wife pleads with him not to go.
Yeah, she's pregnant, but he feels responsible for his, says there's family too. He gathers some elite soldiers, takes this special poison elixir.
Thinks he can poison the darkness.
That's the plan. They ride into the corrupted forest around the pool. It's dangerous. Ground crumbles, spikes shoot up, kill all his men.
But the Emperor makes it.
He reaches the pool, dips an arrow in the poison, says a chant, shoots it up towards the sun. It catches fire, plunges into the pool's heart.
Success.
Looks like it for a second. Then disaster. The elixir didn't kill it, it gave it life, consciousness.
The birth of Aku.
Exactly. Aku rises, this terrifying form. Ironically, thanks the Emperor for creating him.
The Emperor tries to fight.
Uselessly. Mortal weapons don't work. Aku mocks him, then traps him, engulfs him in sludge, binds him to this giant twisted tree that grows from the darkness.
Forces him to watch.
Forces him to watch as Aku descends on his kingdom, destroying everything. Utterly tragic.
Man. Okay, part 2. Aku's rampaging. How does the Emperor get free?
Divine intervention. Odin's white horse appears, frees him, takes him to a mountaintop.
Where he meets the gods again.
Ra, Vishnu this time, and Odin. They give him understanding about Aku, and then they do something incredible.
What's that?
They take his spirit, his righteousness, his purity, and forge it.
Into the sword.
Into the enchanted sword. They appear as those 3 monks while they do it. Give him the weapon, silver armor, send him back on a magic cloud to fight Aku.
Round 2. But this time, the Emperor has the magic sword.
And Aku laughs, confident as ever. But when the Emperor strikes, it hurts Aku. Really hurts him. Aku's shocked.
So the fight is on. Aku turns into a dragon.
Massive dragon form. Aerial battle. Emperor's dodging fire, using the sword skillfully. Lands more hits, even cuts off Aku's head.
But that doesn't stop him.
Nope. Headless body keeps fighting. Aku reforms as this tiny spider, knocks the Emperor away, then explodes into this army of black goo duplicates.
An army of Akus.
Pretty much. Tense standoff. But the Emperor, with the sword, is methodical, cuts down every single one. Systematic.
Until only the real Aku is left.
Weakened, tries to flee, but the Emperor catches him, thrusts the sword into it, traps his essence.
And pins him to the earth.
Plunges the sword into the ground, and Aku is transformed, imprisoned as that giant craggy tree again.
Same tree from the beginning.
The very same. But Aku vows, I will return. The cycle isn't truly broken.
The Emperor goes back to his wife, and their son is born.
Yep, little baby Jack. The Emperor knows they won the battle, but the war isn't over. They have to prepare for Aku's return. Sets up everything.
Wow, that's an incredible backstory. Okay, let's jump way ahead again. The Scotsman saves Jack. Another 2-parter.
Yeah, and it's a wild ride. Starts with the Scotsman chilling on a ship, easily takes out some random bounty hunter.
Then he sees someone familiar.
The ship's waiter, guy named Brent Worthington, looks exactly like Jack. Uncanny resemblance.
So the Scotsman thinks it is Jack, with amnesia.
Immediately jumps to that conclusion, starts trying to jog Brent's memory, talking about their adventures, the crazy fights.
How does Brent react?
Total denial. Nope, not me. I'm Brent. I'm a waiter. I'm a pacifist.
Pacifist. That throws the Scotsman off, I bet.
Completely. He gets more desperate, loudly tells everyone about Jack's bounty, asks other hunters if they recognize him. Finally, he just punches Brent out cold.
Subtle. Then what?
Big fight breaks out with the bounty hunters. Scotsman grabs the unconscious Brent, uses a grenade to escape, jumps overboard.
They end up meeting fishmen.
Yeah, these guys riding giant fish. Scotsman's ready to fight, but Brent wakes up and understands them, speaks their language. Turns out Jack helped their kingdom before.
More evidence it's Jack. The Scotsman still thinks it's amnesia.
Yep, convinced he just needs to help Brent remember, notices a scar on his chest.
From the Tango Beast.
Exactly. Scotsman recognizes it, decides that's the key. Gotta take him back to the Tango Beast's lair, reenact the fight.
Does Brent remember the Tango Beast?
Nope. Still clueless. Scotsman provokes the beast anyway.
And the beast attacks.
Actually, no. The beast is like, oh, Jack, yeah, he beat me. But then he helped me with my self-esteem issues. Great guy. Gives him directions.
Yeah, unexpected therapy session. Brent thinks again.
Yep. Scotsman blames the smell, points out some footprints Brent denies are his. Their journey continues.
To Hex Bucket, the shady port tank.
That's the one. Brent's like, Jack wouldn't hang out here. Scotsman barges into a bar, holds Brent up. Anyone know this guy?
And they do.
From the wanted poster. Another huge brawl. Scotsman fights, Brent hides. They escape with another grenade. Classic.
Who do they meet next?
An old storyteller who actually recognizes Brent, not as Jack, but as someone who liked his stories. Mentions Jack was just there looking to hire a boat.
A real lead. Where was Jack going?
To find the fishmen in the great unknown. They go to a chart house. Scotsman asks for direction. Brent's nervous about the great unknown. Scotsman insists.
Find a ship willing to go.
Eventually, for a hefty price, the sailors know it's dangerous. Sets up part 2.
Okay, part 2. The voyage begins. Is it creepy?
Super creepy. Eerily calm waters. The captain's nervous. Brent's serving drinks. Then thick fog rolls in.
And they hear singing.
This beautiful, mysterious singing. Everyone on the ship is hypnotized. Except the Scotsman. His ears are maybe too used to bagpipes.
Maybe. Where does the singing lead them?
Towards this island, with a giant mountain shaped like a head. Shipwrecks everywhere on the shore. The ship runs aground.
The hypnotized crew gets off.
Yeah, like zombies, carrying treasure as tribute. Walk into this cavern in the mountainhead. Scotsman follows.
What's inside?
Treasure everywhere. And the source of the singing. Sirens. They've enslaved all these sailors, pirates, even robots over the years.
And Jack. What do they do to Jack?
Scotsman confronts them. They admit it. Wiped his memory, turned him into Brent for kicks, kept his dig and sword as trophies.
And the Scotsman fight them?
Tries his gun leg grenades. Doesn't work. They're too fast, too magical.
But he has another weapon.
His bagpipes. He realizes the sound might break the spell. Plays this deafening, awful music.
And it works.
Partially frees the victims. The sirens get mad, merge into this giant 3-headed serpent, coil around the Scotsman. Looks like the end for him. Brent hears the commotion, sees the sword, and it all comes back. He is Samurai Jack, snaps out of it.
Saves the Scotsman.
Grabs his sword, leaps in, decapitates the serpent. Just like that, Jack is back.
Awesome. Happy reunion.
Big relief. They recap the adventure, though Jack doesn't remember being Brent. Realize all the ships are gone, find a rowboat.
Row back together.
Yep. Arguing playfully over who rows better. Friends again, back on the mainland. What an ordeal.
Truly. Okay, one last section from the recap. Young Jack in Africa, back to his training days.
Right. His second teacher takes him to an African village for a different kind of training.
Does the chief there know who he is?
Recognizes him instantly. Says he looks just like his father. Says Jack's presence means Aku will return, and Jack is the world's only hope. Heavy stuff for a kid.
Does the chief know about the sword plan?
He does. Tells Jack how his father gathered world leaders, made contingency plans in case he failed, emphasizes only Jack can wield the magic sword, reinforces his destiny.
Jack makes friends there.
Yeah, becomes good friends with the chief's son, normal kid stuff, alongside the training.
Until trouble arrives.
Another tribe attacks the village. They're not after resources, they're after Jack.
Working for Aku.
Yeah, Aku, the great evil spirit, promised them treasure if they deliver Jack.
Jack hides. Villagers get captured.
Exactly. Jack manages to hide, but others are taken. So Jack, brave even as a kid, follows the attackers.
Spies on them.
Yep. Sees the captured villagers are okay, unharmed for now. Sees the attacking chief making this fire image of Aku. Confirms their motive.
What does Jack do?
He watches them, sees their weapons, finds one, practices with it in secret, adapting even then.
Then he fights all alone.
Yep, takes them on, uses his training, defeats the attackers, rescues his friend. Pretty amazing for a kid.
The chief must have been impressed.
Blown away. Says Jack's training with them is done. He's learned what he needed. Ready for the next stage.
Okay, so that covers the early adventures. The recap also touched briefly on the series ending.
Yeah, just a quick overview. The original run ended in 2004. There was talk of a movie to wrap it up, but it didn't happen then.
But it came back years later.
2017, Adult Swim, Season 5, set 50 years later in Jack's timeline. Much darker, more mature themes. Explored his trauma, his hopelessness after decades of fighting.
Fans were divided on the tone shift.
Some loved it, some missed the original charm. It was definitely different.
What was the basic plot of Season 5?
Jack loses his sword, loses hope. He fights these assassins called the Daughters of Aku, especially one named Ashi.
They become allies, fall in love.
Unexpectedly, yes. Big alliance, romance developed. But then Aku possesses Ashi, forces a final showdown.
Does Jack get help?
Yeah, all the people he helped over the years come back to fight alongside him. It's a huge battle.
How does it resolve?
Ashi breaks free of Aku's control. She uses her powers, inherited from Aku, to open a time portal. They go back together.
Back to the past to beat Aku for good.
Exactly. They confront past Aku. Jack finally defeats him, prevents the dark future. Victory at last.
This is bittersweet.
Very. Jack and Ashi are about to get married in the restored past, but Ashi starts.
Because Aku never existed to create her.
Precisely. A paradox. She vanishes, leaving Jack heartbroken, alone again, but having saved the world. The final scene shows him finding some small comfort in nature. A lady quiet end.
Wow, what a journey. From ancient Japan to the future, back again. Battles, friends, loss.
It really covers a lot of ground. The creativity in the show, just from these early parts we discuss, is incredible. Thanks again to you, the learner, for sending us this source to dive into.
Definitely. It's a rich world. So, a final thought for you listening. Jack faces so many setbacks. He's beaten, thrown through time, portals vanish. Aku seems almost unbeatable sometimes.
So what do you think is ultimately the most crucial thing for Jack's success? Is it just his raw skill with the sword?
Or is it the allies he makes? Like the Scotsmen, the monks, the Spartans.
Or maybe it's something internal, that resilience his father talked about, that ability to jump good even when things seem impossible.
Something to think about. We definitely recommend checking out the show itself if you haven't, or maybe exploring some fan theories online. There's a lot out there.
For sure. Thanks again for joining us for this deep dive.
We look forward to the next one. See you then on the deep dive.